It looks like Bedford won the toss, and Acton will receive the kickoff. So we're ready to begin this contest, and it should be a humdinger because the teams seem to be very evenly matched coming into this game. Certainly Bedford has a better record. They're a 2-1 team. They've played 3 strong games, and were beaten by Boston Latin in the league, but also have beaten Newburyport High School and Archbishop Williams. So they've had some good competition, and it looks like they're going to have the opportunity here tonight to play against Acton. Although our record is 0-3, the Colonials have been playing Division I teams until last week when they tied with Concord Carlisle. But a lot of experience has been gained, and it looks like we're going to have the opportunity here now to begin to play at our level and be playing a team that has accomplished some things already this year and looks forward to playing Acton every year. We'll play the national anthem now. Ladies and gentlemen, the players are prepared now for the kickoff. I'd like you to know that I'm joined here tonight by Mike Daly, who's going to do the color this evening. Mike is a senior. We'd be talking about him right now if he weren't injured, I'm sure. And I'm glad that you're here, Mike, to join us. And our producer, of course, tonight is Dick Hayes. Richard? There's an open kickoff. Kickoff goes down to the 5-yard line, and Jay Close picks up that ball and drives up beyond the 20, I'd say about 26, 27, 28-yard line. Okay. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Acton Boxboro. The tackle was made by Brian Fagan of the Bedford Buccaneers. Acton is going to line up a little differently tonight. We have a new quarterback. It'll be, John Bassett. John starting his first game. He's a sophomore, and in practice he's just looking great. The hit is up in the center, through the center of the line. Chris Mahaney, perhaps off guard, between guard and tackle. He's tackled by a host of Bedford Buccaneers.
3 yards, bring up a 2nd and 7. Tackled by number 51, John Ginn.
Colonials are over the ball now. Sam Martin ready to center to his quarterback. Ball is handed off to Chris Mahaney again. Right up the center.
Pick up a 3 yards. This will bring up a 3rd and 2.
Chris is running with real strength this evening.
Started at the Colonial 36-yard line.
Dave Lord of the Bedford Buccaneers is the boy who made that stop. Chris picked up, looks like about 4 yards on that play. It's 3rd down and probably 3 to go for a 1st down. John lines him up and hands off to, Josh Nazarian.
Ball carried by Nazarian.
Looks like Josh got a couple yards, but not a 1st down. It'll be 4th down. Oh, sorry, he really didn't make a gain. That's right, he stopped. Okay, we'll have to consider. Pardon? Yeah, Luke Zabrowski is deep for the Colonials. He'll be doing the punting. Colin Ross, the triple threat tailback from Bedford, is back to receive that punt. It's a nice high kick. Colin grabbed it and he's gone. He's running, going to his left. He was stopped for the Colonials by Dan Bickle. The ball will be placed at about the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bedford Buccaneers. Chris Price has changed numbers. This week he's wearing number 1. He sets the defensive signals. Bedford lines up with a wingback to the right. It goes to its fullback, straight up, tailback, straight up. That's Ross. He's met at the line of scrimmage by Chris O'Brien and several of his compatriots. I think Chris Price was in on that, huh? Armando Ramos, Armando was on that play. It looks like he picked up 1 yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 to go for the Bedford Buccaneers. It's right on the 50-yard line. Ball is nice fake by the quarterback, and he's carrying that ball.
Ball carried by number 14.
Kevin Clemens, the quarterback for the Buccaneers, faked and then carried that ball around the left side and found a hole and just kept going until he was pushed out of bounds at the Colonial 29-yard line. Ball carrier was Terry Saccone. Terry's been having some quarterback duties here for the last 2 weeks for Bedford, as I understand it. There's a handoff to the Bedford fullback, and he's met by a group of Colonials. Looks like Chris Price and Dave D'Ambrosio. Mike Kinnick is also in on that play. Huh? Is he? Oh, okay.
Keone Monty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. That's right, Chris. That's right, Mike. Yeah. There was a flag on that play. We'll wait for the officials to signal what they see.
Illegal procedure against the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers are going to be penalized 5 yards for illegal procedure. They'll start again with 2nd and probably about 15 yards there.
This will bring up a 2nd and 13.
Who we got now?
Ball is started at the Colonial.
Yeah, okay. Mike Burlide for the first time this season, starting at linebacker for the Colonials. Bedford tailback Colin Ross gets the ball. Mike Kinnick moved him out of bounds for the Colonials, but not before he got a couple of yards.
And Mike Burlide is on that tackle.
Looks like it's going to be 3rd and about 5. So he picked up about 8-9 yards on that play. Bedford quarterback fakes a nice handout, takes the option, goes wide. It's a slippery runner. He's still standing.
Ball carried by Terry Saccone.
Looks like Trey Gullich made that tackle and he was assisted by Saccone, I'm sorry, the quarterback from Bedford.
To bring up a 4th and 4.
So it'll be 4th and 4. It's an interesting play. Bedford has to decide what they're going to do with the ball here. Doesn't look like they're going to punt. They're lining up on the scrimmage as they would normally. Putting a flanker left. Up, timeout. We'll take a break. All right, we're back now with 6 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first period. Score is still 0-0. Bedford has had the ball for the entire first period so far. Quarterback pitches to the right to his fullback, but the Colonials are there to meet him. Mike Burlide is make the tackle for the Colonials. It's a nice heads-up play for him.
Luke Zaborowski was also in on the tackle.
There were several players assisting him, but certainly it was a heads-up play for the defense, and they stopped the Buccaneers and now take the ball over. 1st and 10 on looks like about the 40, 30, 27 maybe. Mahaney comes out with the ball on that carry, and he comes out over the. He was stopped by Marcus Harris of the Buccaneers.
Marcus Harris.
So we've got a 2nd down and about 7 to go.
Long 7 or 2nd and 8.
John Bassett lines up, pitches to Chris Mahaney, goes right off the end, and is tackled there. And he was stopped by Colin Ross, the triple threat Buccaneer.
Brings up a 3rd and 1.
Looks like we've got now a 3rd and 1.
Boxboro at the Colonial 32-yard line.
We line up in a kind of a wing T, or an I formation with a back right. Chris Mahaney bangs over to take that 1st down, although the officials are
1st and 10,
placing the ball. Yep, it's going to be 1st and 10.
The last tackle made by Marcus Harris.
Colonials call timeout. We'll take a break with them.
Josh Nazarian and Adam Kenny are playing the upbacks, and Chris Mahaney is playing a tailback. We run a new offense this week. It's a flex. That was run by Josh Nazarian.
Ball carried by Nazarian.
Okay, it was a nice handoff by John Bassett.
Gain of a yard on the carry, 2 yards perhaps. John Ginn on the tackle for the Buccaneers. To bring up a 2nd and 8. Ball starting at the Colonial 30.
Okay, Sam Martin out over the ball. Colonials line up the I with the back to the left. Now it's Chris Mahaney banging his way through there. Okay, there is a flag on the field on this play. But, we'll see what the officials call this. No signal as yet. This looks like a penalty against Bedford. Freeze mark out. No. Ooh. Personal foul against the Buccaneers. Takes the ball down to their 40-yard line and gives Acton a 1st and 10. Yeah, the line is, we've seen some new people out there today. It's looking good. Okay, there's the flags down on the play. Referee stops the play. Okay.
Offside, Acton Boxboro.
Acton Boxboro is penalized 5 yards for being offside, and we'll take that first down all over again. So 1st and 15 as Sam Martin comes out over the ball. John Bassett gets under center. Signals are going. It goes to Chris Mahaney, who whips right through the line and picks him up about 7 or 8 yards.
This will bring up a 2nd and 7.
He was tackled by the Buccaneers' Scott Kleekamp, who's a tackle. Now 2nd down and about 7 yards to go for a 1st down. Steve Bertrand carries the ball right over center and across buck over guard position. Looks like he picked up about 3 yards maybe. 2 yards. Okay, so it's 3rd and 5 for the Colonials now. About 3 minutes in the period.
Bertrand's been out for the last 2 games, and we really missed him at running back.
Sure do. That's right.
He's quick and
he's got a lot of experience, huh? Here's Chris Mahaney banging his way through the center of the line for another 3 or 4 yards.
4 yards. This will bring up
Just short of the 40, so it'll be about a 4th and 1. And the Colonials huddle. Nope, timeout is called by the Buccaneers. We'll take a break with them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back now. Sam Martin about to address the ball with 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Colonials driving, 4th and 1. Chris Mahaney smacks through the center of the line to gain a 1st down. He's down to probably the 26-yard line.
26-yard line of the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers' John Ginn, the guard, stopped him in that play. Sam Martin over the ball, 1st and 10 now on the 26-yard line for the Colonials as they drive toward the goal line.
Ball carried by Steve Bertrand.
Stevie Bertrand was coming right and was met at the line of scrimmage with a good sound tackle by Chris Midget from Bedford. Colonials line up again, 2nd and 9. John Bassett into the center. He's gives it off to, wow, there's a nice sound hit. Stevie Bertrand again, yeah, Midget again, same spot. Kind of wish he had gone outside as opposed to go out inside him, huh? But that's the hole.
Yeah, those pluggers are firing.
Yeah, they really are. It's getting some real good hitting in that, right up at the line of scrimmage, really.
Taking a risk.
Yeah.
Right outside, you can.
Okay, 3rd and 9 for the Colonials. John Bassett takes the ball and pitches to Chris Mahaney. He goes wide to the right. And depending on where they place that ball, he's got himself a 5-6 yard gain.
John Taylor on the tackle.
He was stopped by John Taylor of Bedford. He got himself 8 yards. So it's 4th and a long 1 for a 1st down. The officials are taking the precaution to place the ball carefully here. Moved out to the center of the field.
Chris has had ankle problems all year. This week he's telling everyone how good he felt, and he's playing real well.
That's great to hear, because when he's healthy, he can't be stopped.
I know.
Okay, officials signify there's about a foot to go for a 1st down here. So it's another tough call for the Colonials. 4th and a half a yard or so to go for a 1st. And they're driving now. There's just a minute left in the 1st quarter. And they're heading toward the west goal here on the Colonial Field. So wonderful night, maybe even a little warm for the players, actually, but a really nice night to watch the game.
It's real hot in those uniforms.
I'll bet it is. Okay, John Bassett is over the ball. There goes Chris Mahaney right over the top.
up the first down.
That's a nice run by Chris. So it keeps the drive moving.
14-yard line.
Well, here the Colonials go now, 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line of Bedford. Oh, I thought that was, that was
That's gonna be offsides.
Offside, or was it maybe one of the backs
The
jumped?
backs jump. But
Yeah. But it's going to cost us, it looks like. Yeah, backfield in motion. Will be penalized 5 yards and start again. First.
Boxboro.
Yeah, it's a tough time to have that one happen, Mike, but they've been overcoming a number of things on this drive. It's good to see them drive. It's something we haven't been doing all season. Okay, Sam's over the ball. We have a pitch out to Chris Mahaney, who comes wide and gets caught as he hits the line of scrimmage. Marcus Harris of the Buccaneers is the young man who stepped in and grabbed Chris before he could get get moving there. So we'll have another penalty. Waiting for the officials to indicate. Looks like they're stepping off offensive holding. Okay, well, the Colonials still working with 2nd down now, and they're 10, looks like about 20 to go, huh? For 1st down. Yeah. Oh. The end of the quarter. Okay. We'll take a break here now, and we'll be right back with you. Well, Mike, I know. Okay, we're going to begin the 2nd quarter here now with the Colonials driving down deep in Buccaneer territory here. We're, I'd say the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. John Bassett's back to throw, but doesn't get an opportunity. He gets sacked. Oh, he did get rid of the ball, I guess. They're going to give him that opportunity. So the ball goes back to the line of scrimmage, and now it'll be 3rd down and about 20. The first period was very encouraging for the Colonials because they took a hold of that ball and drove down the field, something they have not been able to do in previous games, and we're very pleased. So John Bassett pitches back to Chris Mahaney, and Chris drives around the left-hand side and is tackled after a gain of about 6-7 yards, I would say. Looks now like still got a good 17-18 yards to go for this 3rd down. It's an important long yardage 3rd down for the Colonials to keep this drive alive. Trey Gullidge splits wide to the right. And John Bassett under center. Takes the snap, pitches back to Chris Mahaney, who goes left again and is driven out of bounds. By Chris Midget of the Buccaneers.
We also
just about the line of scrimmage, huh?
In losing Brady, we lost our field goal kicker too, so that takes away a little bit of the option. Mike Dean will be kicking for us.
I see. Okay. Mike's got a nice strong foot, though, huh?
Yeah, he's got a good foot.
He does. Just no experience.
Yeah.
Looks like there was an official's handkerchief dropped against Bedford. Ah, that will help us an awful lot. Face mask call. Okay, that's a 15-yarder, isn't it? Right, yeah. I think it... I guess it's an automatic first down also, which is awful big help to keep this drive alive. Because sometimes you have to be lucky, too. Okay, John Bassett's under center. He hands off to Josh Nazarian, and Josh pounds ahead.
Ball carried by Josh Nazarian.
Looks like, down to about the 5-yard line. He was tackled by George Chen, number 81 of the Buccaneers. So it looks like second down and about 5 yards to go for a touchdown. Mahaney takes the handoff from John Bassett and plows ahead. He's got a gain there, probably of 3 yards. Maybe he's down on, it's hard to tell from here, but looks like about the 1 or 2 yard line. Colonials are huddling. No, officials are going to measure. That's right. I'm sure the Colonials are hungry. They'd like to get across that goal line at this point. Chris O'Brien entered the gain. And he's taking the place of Trey Gullich at left end. Officials now blow the whistle. The game is game.
Gonna go to a double tight here.
Go double tight end here? Ah, okay. That's what Chris O'Brien.
Luke Zaborowski and Chris O'Brien.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, offsides.
Ah, offside penalty.
Penalties have been killing us all year once we get inside the 20.
Yeah, it's tough. We seem to have a lot of enthusiasm, though. We're going to overcome these things. Yeah.
Overcome a lot on this drive.
This is a fine drive. It's the best drive I've seen all year. We seem to be very much in charge if we want to be. That's what we are.
This is going to 3rd and 5.
Okay, the Colonials are breaking out of their huddle now. Sam Martin over the ball. The Buccaneers shift their defense some. Josh Nazarian takes a pitch and goes to the right side. Colin Ross made the stop for the Buccaneers. Looks like he made about 3 yards on the play. He's back down to maybe the 3 yard line, 2 yard line. And there's a timeout on the field. We'll take a break with the Colonials. We're back, fans, with 8:40 to go in the second period. The Colonials driving to they're on the 2 yard line of the Buccaneers and trying to get into that end zone right now. John Bassett takes the hike and gives to Chris Mahaney, and Chris Mahaney pushes his way right into the end zone. Put his head down and just power drive right into the end zone. It was a great drive for the Colonials. Virtually the length of the field, and they held the ball consistently. Short gains, they had control. That's something that they just haven't been able to do all year.
That's going to help a lot in the emotion.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's going to pick us up a lot. Something we needed. That's Mike Dean, Jason Leone holding.
Okay. Mike, who's got a nice, strong foot, gets his first point after, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was partially blocked, I think. Still went through.
Partially blocked, yeah. It was a strong kick. No way it was going to stop. We'll take a break now as we wait for the kickoff.
Number 22.
Bills are ready to kick off now to the Buccaneers with 8 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter. The kick by Mike Dean. It's a nice high kick. A little short, received on the 20. And George Chen, number 81. Okay, he ran that ball up to about the 30-yard line. So that the Buccaneers will start at actually the 33-yard line with their 1st and 10 on the 33. Colonials put 4-5, 5-5 defense. And the Buccaneers quarterback comes wide to the left, and it's picked off by Trey Gullich.
There's a flag down in the field.
But there is a flag down on the field. That's right. We'll have to see what that means.
In the area of pass interference.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
They're talking to the Blue Captains, though.
But they are talking to Acton, yeah.
And then there's a man downfield.
The penalty was declined. Acton will take the ball 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line, it looks like. This is the Buccaneers' 39-yard line. No, actually, closer to the 40. Well, the Colonials get a break. I'm not sure what the infraction was, but...
It's an ineligible man downfield.
Was it an ineligible receiver?
Yeah.
Okay. So John Bassett under Sam Martin takes the hunt and hands off to Stevie Bertrand, who, with a quick opener, gets himself 10 yards. Looks like a 1st down.
Jim Sullivan on the tackle for the Buccaneers.
Jim Sullivan of the Buccaneers was the young man that made that tackle. Stevie Bertrand opened that hole, jumped into that hole so quickly, he was across the line of scrimmage. Now here we go with Chris Mahaney. Chris picks himself up 4 or 5 yards on that play.
Now Chris is a steady runner. He doesn't break too much. You don't see me fast, fancy stuff, but he'll get you 5 yards each time.
A lot of heart, a lot of drive. He's doing it with his legs and with his intent. Okay, now we've got John Bassett with the ball. He hands off to Stevie Bertrand. Stevie goes straight ahead, kind of a cross-buck over guard.
Tackled by number 51, John Ginn.
He's tackled by George Ginn
3 yards on the carry.
of the Buccaneers.
Ball is spotted at the 22-yard line of the Buccaneers.
Now Chris Mahaney takes the ball again and moves ahead. Picked himself up another 2 or 3 yards. And they'll take another 1st down. So we've got about 7 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the second quarter. The Colonials are driving now deep into Buccaneer territory on the 28-yard line. Sam Martin goes out over the ball. John Bassett calls the signals. Takes and hands off to Stevie Bertrand, who drives right straight through the right-hand side, right guard, really, right off right guard, for probably 6 yards. Yeah, they mark it at 5, 2nd and 5.
Another part of this new offense, they moved a tackle, Chris Price, to fullback to help open up some holes.
That's great.
Big kid.
Yeah, Chris is number 1, isn't he?
Yep.
All right, John Bassett calling the signals. Pitches to Chris Mahaney, who goes right with a couple of nice blocks.
Ball carried by Mahaney.
Let's see, he's...
John Taylor on the tackle.
John Taylor of the Buccaneers made the tackle.
1st and 10 Colonials.
The Colonials are driving now. They're moving the ball at will. 5, 6 yards a carry. And doing a nice, neat job of controlling the ball. Here comes Sam Martin out over the ball now. Colonials put their flex back right. And that's Stevie Bertrand. He takes the ball and he moves. Oh, nice drive, Steve.
4 yards.
Yeah, Steve is driving just like Chris Mahaney. Must be watching Chris.
This will bring up a 2nd and 2.
Okay, the ball placed now on about the 4-yard line. 2nd and 2. No, I'm sorry, 2nd and goal from the 2. All right, John Bassett hands off to Chris Mahaney. Looked like he made it, but
no signal yet.
Chris Mahaney on the carry.
I'm waiting for the officials to uncover the ball. Looks like they may have stopped him down just short of the goal line. Typical Chris Mahaney, put your head down and go at it. Okay, Colonials line up tight. Flex back to the right. They give it to Chris Mahaney. Oh, John kept the ball.
He looked down.
It's not clear
They're
what's
gonna call
happening
the fumble,
here.
I
It looks
think.
like John Bassett was down on the ground before he fumbled, but it's not
he was
clear.
down.
Oh, the officials are turning the ball over to Bedford. So that fumble. Yeah, it's a nice drive. Colonials did everything they were supposed to do, except just had a little bad luck there at the goal line.
Yeah, he was certainly down.
I thought he was down too.
Yeah, the ball popped up when it hit the ground.
Yeah. Well, they called it. So he's a young quarterback. He's got to get experience, and this will help him. Now the Buccaneers go to the right side of our line, go to the right side of their line, make maybe a yard or two. Armando Ramos and Chris Burlide make the tackle for the Colonials. Now the Buccaneers got to get out of their hole here. They're the 2-yard line and stretching. They go wide to the right. Real nice pitch. That was a real nice play for the Buccaneers. They get themselves some breathing room by Colin Ross. Yeah. Mike Burlide was out there, the linebacker on the left side, to make the tackle. But the Buccaneers get themselves out of deep in their own territory, out to the looks like the 20, maybe the 20.
28-yard line.
26, okay. 26-yard line. Okay, 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers now on their 26. Ball is given to Colin Ross, who went to the right. Jason Hood make the tackle for the Colonials. They made 1 yard on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Buccaneers. Off the field comes Luke Zabrowski. Okay, the Buccaneer quarterback scampers to the left, to his left.
Tackle made by Armando Ramos and
tackle by I'm sorry, the quarterback for the Buccaneers, Terry Saccone, carried that ball. He's a real slippery runner. Found himself a couple of holes and got about 7 or 8 yards and got himself another 1st down. So it's 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers on the 41-yard line now, their own 41-yard line. Terry Saccone pitches to Colin Ross, who went wide to the right.
Pick up 6 yards on the carry. 7 yards, bring up a 2nd and 3.
Okay, the Buccaneers are starting to move the ball now. They're up to their own 44-yard line with 2nd down and about 3 to go for 1st. Quarterback's mixing up. Colin Ross goes wide to the right again, and this time he's met this time by Jason Hood, and doubt that he's so So Armando Ramos and looks like we have another penalty. This one will be against the Colonials. A personal foul, 15 yards, and an automatic first down.
Ball is now spotted on the Colonial 35-yard line.
So the ball will now be spotted on the Colonial 35-yard line. So the Buccaneers got a break, and they're starting to drive into Colonial territory.
The momentum has really shifted.
Sure.
Acton's going to have to make a stand if they're going to stop him here.
Good point, Mike. Good point. All right, the Bedford quarterback, slippery runner that he is, makes his way out to the right. He's caught by Mike Burlide, and with maybe just a yard more for a first down. So Bedford certainly has changed the momentum quickly here. Colonials called timeout. Back, there's about a minute and 31 left in the half. The Buccaneers are driving. They're now on the Colonial 26-yard line with 2 yards to go for a first down, second down. And quarterback hands off. Ooh, that's it. He's got it. He's got it. Colin Ross scored a touchdown. Virtually untouched.
Yeah, he's quick. He got to that hole quick.
That's right. That's the secret.
Claps right behind him, but he was already through.
Okay, so Bedford gets 6 points, and they're lining up now to for the extra point.
Ross kicks the extra points too.
Does he? Colin does?
Yeah, he's quite a player.
He seems to be a real triple threat, a true triple threat player.
He's their punter as well.
Ah, he's their punter too. Of course, Jason Brady is our triple threat up. The snap from the center was fumbled by the kick holder, and so therefore we keep that extra point. The score remains 7-6. We'll take a break before we wait for the kickoff. Well, fans, we're back now with just a minute and 24 seconds left in the half. The Colonials leading 7-6. The Buccaneers are now going to kick off to the Colonials. And the kick is a long, strong kick. Goes down to our 7-yard line. And it's picked up by Jay Close, who runs it right up the center of the field to the 25-yard line, where he's met by a host of Buccaneers. So the Colonials now have the ball first down and 10 on the 25 with just a minute and 18 seconds left to play in this half. And certainly an opportunity to build on their lead before halftime. Sam Martin comes out. Trey Gullidge comes wide to the right. There's a flex offense with Stevie Bertrand to the right, and Stevie gets the call, and he gets probably 4 yards on the play. So it'll be about 2nd and 6 for the Colonials, and the Colonials call timeout to try to preserve as much time as they can here. We're back with just a minute and 9 seconds left in the half. The Colonials just coming off a timeout with the ball in their hands. And Mike, with this kind of limited time, it's kind of hard on the quarterback, isn't it?
Yeah, and John being a new quarterback, he's going to have a lot of trouble. With Jason, he ran it. He's a real smart quarterback. He's been playing football almost all his life, ever since I've known him.
Sure.
And he knows how to stop the clock.
Okay, John Bassett's back to pass, and he throws wide to the right over the head of Josh Nigerian. But we only lost a couple seconds. That's a good play. But we did lose it down, so it'll probably be 3rd and 7.
I'm sure John's a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm sure he is too, yeah. It's a great opportunity for him to get the chance to play.
It's a lot different from JV.
Yeah, a lot different. Absolutely. Okay, John takes the center. He throws the pass. Oh, almost intercepted. Was thrown a little high, and it was almost intercepted by Jim Sullivan of the Buccaneers. So we have 4th down now, and the Colonials will have to punt the ball to the Buccaneers with just 59 seconds left in the half. Ball is centered. Kick is made. It's a high kick. Gives coverage plenty of time to get under it, but it's a fair catch, and it's caught by Colin Ross on the 49-yard line of the Buccaneers. 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers.
I think the majority of this game is going to be running for Acton. With this new offense, they really just pound the ball into the defense.
Yeah, sounds like they're doing something right there, and they're getting control and taking time off the clock each time, and that's good. The more you keep the ball away from Colin Ross and his friends from Bedford, the better off you are, I think. Now there's a reverse by Chacon. Oh, very nice reverse. He's going wrong right. He's been caught from behind. Brian Chisholm, who was the ball carrier. Brian Chisholm. He was tackled by Trey Gullidge going down the right-hand side. This is on the 15-yard line.
The ball is started at the Colonial 15-yard line.
Now we'll take a break here. Back now with the Buccaneers driving on the Colonial 15-yard line. Ball, the center has the ball. He fumbles, with his pitch, but Colin Ross picks it up and gets another 10 yards with the ball. He's down to the Colonial 5-yard line. Mike Dean made the hit for the Colonials to drive him out of bounds. This is a real tight situation for the Colonials with 32 seconds left in the half. The officials have called timeout. We'll wait. We'll take a break with them. Officials have spotted the ball with just a foot to go for a 1st down on the Acton 5.5-yard line. The Buccaneers are lining up now. This is their 2nd down with just a foot to go for a 1st down on the 5.5-yard line of Acton. Colin Ross takes it right. Mike Burlide caught him before he hit the line of scrimmage, it looks like, from here. So it looks like they have a 3rd down. And Bedford takes a timeout. We'll take a break. Okay, we're back now with just 20 seconds left in the 1st half, but the Buccaneers are knocking. They're on the 5.5-yard line of Acton with 3rd down and just a half a yard to go for a 1st down. The quarterback takes the ball. He gets caught behind the line of scrimmage. It was Dave D'Ambrosio who caught him. Nice tackle. So the Buccaneers now are 4th down. And just maybe 6 yards to go for a 1st down, and they're under the gun here. There's just 15 seconds left to play, and a timeout is called. We'll take a break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Buccaneers are they have 4th down now, and they're opting to try to kick a field goal. Colin Ross is going to do the kicking. The ball was partially blocked and to the right side, and so it failed. And so it looks like with just 9 seconds left, the Colonials get the ball back, and we'll see if we can end up here with the 1st half. Colonials are huddling up now, and Bedford's lined up, likely to be a type of a prevent defense, right? With just 9 seconds left.
I think Acton's just going to run the ball out, going to halftime with the small lead.
Sure, that's right. John Bassett under center. He takes the ball, gives it to Chris Mahaney, who is caught just a yard or two beyond the line of scrimmage with just 1 second. That's it for the 1st half. We'll be back to recap the 1st half when we begin the 2nd half. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back now for the 2nd half of this contest between the Acton Boxboro Colonials and the Buccaneers of Bedford. Score is 7-6. Acton has the advantage at this moment and is about to kick off to the Buccaneers. Michael Dean is the kicker, and he's place kicker, and he's pushing the ball now. Hits the ball up nice and high, down to the 20-yard line, where it's picked up by Colin Ross, who takes advantage of some sloppy tackling and gets all the way up to just over the 40-yard line in Bedford territory still. Mike, I would think the team is pleased certainly with the first half. They came out with a point advantage, but they also, I'm sure, have more confidence by moving the ball the way they did.
Yeah, the coach is real upset about the way Bedford drove 99 yards on us.
Yeah.
And had them deep in their territory and let them loose.
You let them know that, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Buccaneers are up over the ball. Quarterback hands off to Colin Ross, who comes through the right side of our line.
Tackle made by Chris Price.
That tackle is made by Chris Price
Pick up a 5 yards.
of the Colonials.
Bring up a 2nd and 5.
Give him a 5-yard gain, maybe a 6-yard gain. So it's 2nd and 4, or 2nd and long 4 for the Buccaneers. This time Colin takes the ball again and is caught by Armando Ramos as he comes through the line. Short gain on that play. So it'll be 3rd down for the Buccaneers, and looks like they're going to have about 4 yards for 1st down. The ball is sitting now on the 47-yard line of Buccaneers, and their center is hiking the ball now. Colin Ross again. This time he's caught behind the line of scrimmage by Jason Hood of the Colonials. A very nice tackle. Right around the ankles, nowhere to go. So we've got a fourth down now with about 4 yards, and the Buccaneers will probably kick, although they're going to talk about it a little bit there, it looks like. Yeah, Colin Ross is back to kick, but he's also a triple threat guy. You got to keep your eyes on this guy. There's Ross. He gets the center, kicks the ball very nicely. It's going to be received by Jay Close down on the Acton 10-yard line. Jay picks his way for about 10 yards up to the 20-yard line, where he's tackled. So we'll have a 1st and 10 now for the Colonials on their own 20-yard line. John Bassett, the quarterback, sophomore. He's got 2 quarters behind him now, and he's probably settling down very nicely. Huh? He's taking the snap now, turns, hands to Chris Mahaney, who pushes his way up through the center of the Buccaneer line to probably a gain of 2-3 yards. So we look at 2nd and 7 for the Colonials. Stevie Bertrand comes back in, take a place in the flex offense. He replaces Josh Nazarian. Colonials are over the ball now. The give is to Stevie Bertram. He's caught at the line of scrimmage and brought back. Scott Kleekamp of the Buccaneers was right there waiting for Stevie as he came through the line on that play, and kept him for no gain. So it's 3rd and about 6 for the Colonials. The pitch is to Chris Mahaney, who's tripped up in the backfield, falls over his own blocker and a Buccaneer. So we lost maybe a yard on that play. So the Colonials have a 4th down now, and they're forced to punt. Mike Dean is back on his 10-yard line, takes the snap, gets a nice high punt away. It's called for a fair catch on the Acton Boxboro 45-yard line. So Buccaneers will take that ball back now on the 45-yard line, 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Luke really gets a lot of air on the punts, and he forces them a lot of time to
yeah, and
get
it's
a
great
fair
for
catch.
coverage, isn't it?
Yeah.
People get down the field and they're there and they're ready to. So it, yeah, in that case, Colin Ross really wanted a fair catch.
Yeah.
He didn't want to face those 6 guys that are right around him. Okay, the Buccaneers have the ball now, 1st and 10. Colin Ross takes the ball again, moves right through the line for probably 3 yards. Stopped by Chris Price and Jason Hood for the Colonials.
We'll bring up a 2nd and 7.
Okay, Buccaneers will have the ball, 2nd down, 7 yards to go on the 43-yard line of Acton. Starting a little drive here. They line up in an I formation, but a back goes wide to the right. The pitch is to Colin Ross. He's caught before he crosses the line of scrimmage on the right-hand side there and knocked out of bounds. Looks like Mike Buckley, isn't it? Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. Luke Zabrowski. Right, number 81. It's my glasses. I was looking at for number 61, but it was number 81. Okay, it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go now for the Buccaneers. Acton's defense is stiffened. Hopefully we can hold them here. Snap goes back to the Buccaneer quarterback. It looks like a misdirection here. Back to the right, but he's caught. He slips, and he's held there by Trey Gullich and Armando Ramos. So it'll be 4th and 5, and now the Buccaneers put in a kicking team, and we'll see if they punt. They'd be punting from about their 50-yard line. Colin Ross, the triple threat back, is back to receive to punt. And he kicks it. Ooh. And the Colonials let it go. And it's down by the Buccaneers on the Colonial 2-yard line. Well, we're back deep in our own territory, Mike.
I think Close did the right thing letting it go. It's a bad hop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
bouncing
it
inside
certainly
the
didn't
10 and
take a
just
Colonial
stopped.
bounce, did it? No. Okay, Colonials are down now on the 2-yard line with 1st and 10 to go. There's about 5 minutes and 42 seconds left in the 3rd period. And now the Colonials have their chance to move the ball in their own. There was a pass attempted by John Bassett. He was knocked down. The ball was blocked. It was intended for Chris O'Brien, but didn't get there. Okay, 2nd down and 10 to go on the 2-yard line. Colonials are in the huddle. Sam Martin comes out over the ball. Line lines up. We've got a flex back to the right. Bassett hands off to Josh Nazarian, who goes right up the middle.
Josh Nazarian carrying the ball for the Colonials.
Picks up 3 or 4 yards, I would say. It's now 3rd and 7 for the Colonials. There are twin wideouts to the right for the Colonials this time. The ball's handed to Chris Mahaney, and he's stopped just beyond the line of scrimmage. Number 80 for the Buccaneers, Pat Lewis, made that stop. Okay, so the Colonials now have a 4th and 7 from their own 6-yard line. And it looks like they're going to punt from Mike Dean back in our own end zone. Oh, I'm sorry, Luke Zabrowski is going to do the punting. The safety. Looks like the hike from center was over the head of the punter, and the ball was down, so it'll be a safety for Bedford. And we'll take a break here before we wait for the next kickoff. Acton Boxboro is kicking off now to the Buccaneers after that safety. The Buccaneers fumble that kick, but pick it up again on their own 25-yard line and make another 7 or 8 yards before they're hauled down by Dave D'Ambrosio. First Colonial down the field. Saw Josh Nazarian as well. Okay, there are 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter. The Buccaneers are now ahead 8-7. They have the ball on their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. And they break their huddle and come out over the ball. Colonials look like they have about 5 men down. Colin Ross, is that? It was Ross? Is it? It was Quixote, okay. He blew right through the line on the right-hand side and picked up about 20 yards. He's up to the midfield stripe. Looks like the Acton Boxboro 49-yard line. 1st down and 10 and go for the Buccaneers.
Acton's really going to pick himself back up. I think they're letting that get them down. And
yeah, I think maybe the safety bothered him, huh? Yeah. Okay, handoff by the Bedford quarterback. Gets him maybe a yard on the play. Dive over guard. Armando Ramos on the tackle. Armando's playing a fine game inside. This will be 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Buccaneers as they come out over the ball. The ball is hiked. The quarterback holds the ball and he gets smacked. Sam Martin and Dave D'Ambrosio. Excellent tackle. The quarterback had nowhere to go, just nowhere.
Loss of 3 yards in the play.
Okay, the Buccaneers lost 4 yards on that play, so this will be 3rd down and about 13 to go for 1st. And the ball resting now on their own 48-yard line. They're out over the ball. Ball is hiked to the quarterback, who pitches wide to Colin Ross, who throws a pass. And that was a very nice defense. Mike Dean went up for the ball, and so the ball is brought back now to the 48-yard line, so it's 4th down and 12 yards for the Buccaneers, who probably will have to kick now. And Colin Ross, the triple threat back, is going to be the punter. Takes the ball, kicks it, gets a very nice punt away. It's deep in Colonial territory. Jay Close fields it at the 9-yard line, comes back, gets about 7 or 8 yards, and then he's caught at the 15 by Bedford 32, Richard Beckinson of the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, Richard Atkinson. Thank you. All right, the Colonials have the ball now again with 2:28 left in the third period. They're on their own 15-yard line. Sam Martin's out over the ball. The ball is pitched to Nazarian, who goes to the left side, picks up maybe 4 yards on the play. 3 yards, yeah. Caught again by Richard Atkinson of the Buccaneers, and by Keone Monty. Very interesting first name. Okay, Colonials are in the huddle. coming out, second down and 7 yards to go on their own 18 or 19-yard line. Ball is given to Chris Mahaney, who pounds through the middle of the line, picks up maybe 4 yards. Looks like he's got about a 3rd and 4. Keone Monty of the Buccaneers made the hit again. Colonials are in their huddle. They've got 3rd and 3, a long 3, to go for a first down. Ball is hiked. It's handed to Chris Mahaney. He's caught at the line of scrimmage by Chris Farmer of the, John Ginn of the Buccaneers, right, at the line of scrimmage. So it's 4th and 3, and the Colonials will again have to punt. It's Chris O'Brien over the ball. He centers it to Mike Dean. He kicks, to Chris Zembrowski, who kicks, who punts. Ball is received by Bedford, Colin Ross. He gets maybe 2 yards, and he's caught by Trey Gullidge, just the Acton 48-yard line. So we'll have another 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers on the Acton 48-yard line, with about 35 seconds left to go here in the 3rd period. Well, Mike, the Colonials have to get their hands back on that ball, huh?
Yeah.
Gotta get some points here, and Bedford calls a timeout. We'll take a break here with them. With the Buccaneers taking the ball on a reverse, Trey Gullidge stops Brian Chisholm, who came back to the right-hand side here to pick up 3 yards on the carry. This will be a 2nd and 7 now for the Buccaneers on the Acton 46-yard line. Yeah. The 3rd quarter is just about to end. There's 4 seconds left and counting, and the officials now call it, and we'll take a break here while we're back now. The Buccaneers have the ball. They're on the yard line, 2nd and about 7. Sam Martin made a nice hit on the ball carrier there as he got himself maybe 3 or 4 yards off the left-hand side of the Acton line. So it's now about 3rd and 3. And we're starting off the 4th quarter. It'll be an important quarter now. 1-point game. Buccaneers have 1 point, 8-7, and they have the ball on the Acton 43-yard line. 3rd and 3 for the Buccaneers. The pitch is given to, or the handoff is given to Colin Ross, who fights his way through the left-hand side of the yard, maybe got a yard or 2. There's a flag on the play now, and there's a cheer from the Buccaneers sideline. So late hit, I think so. Well, I guess the Colonials know how to put themselves in a hole here. It's personal foul against the Colonials. Automatic first down. It sure is. That puts the ball down on the 25-yard line. Maybe the 24. It's 1st and 10 now for the Buccaneers. They're knocking on the door. So the Colonials are going to have to stiffen up here. Buccaneers come out over the ball. Quarterback takes the hike, gives to Colin Ross, who runs right through the center of the line. Gets 10 or 12 yards. Yeah, Mike Kinnick is, for the Colonials, made the stop. They stop him on the 12 or 13-yard line now. It's 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. Pitch is made to Ross. He goes right in for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Colin Ross.
So the Buccaneers now have 6 more points. It's 14-7, and the Buccaneers will line up now for an extra point try. Looks like the boys had a little bit of a letdown there, Mike. Yeah?
Can't make mistakes in a game this close in the fourth quarter. Mental mistakes like that.
It's tough.
Personal fouls are just,
Yep.
just can't let them happen.
Colin Ross will kick. It's a good kick. And so he gets another point. That's 15-7. And we'll line up for the kickoff. We'll take a break here while we line up.
Bedford Buccaneers 15.
The play begins again. Buccaneers kicking off to the Colonials. There are 9 minutes and 33 seconds left, and a 15-7 game. Buccaneers quite an advantage now. Here comes the kick, and it's a good long kick. It's caught by Jay Close down at the 5-yard line. Comes up to the 20, where he meets a whole host of Bedford defenders. Looks like he may have gotten over the 20 to about the 23. So the Colonials will start now with a 1st and 10 and the ball in their hands. At least our destiny is in our hands.
Yeah, this is an important drive for Acton.
Sure is. Yeah.
They gotta get something going.
Okay, Sam Martin comes out over the ball. John Bassett takes the hike, pitches to Mahaney, and Mahaney goes off right side, picks up about 6 yards, so it'll be second and 4, I would say, probably. The ball now resting on the 29-yard line of Acton Boxboro. John Bassett takes the hike, pitches back to Mahaney again, this time off of the right-hand side. Chris pounds his way through 1st down.
Tackle made by Keone Monty.
Bedford tackle was made by Keone Monty. Acton will now have the ball 1st and 10 on the 37-yard line and driving. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left. John Bassett takes the center, gives it back to Chris Mahaney, who gets met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he's got a yard or 2. Okay, so the Colonials huddle up again now with 2nd and about 9, maybe 2nd and 8, a long 8. Sam Martin comes out over the ball. We have a flex back to the right. John Bassett takes the center, goes back to throw. He's throwing long. Josh Nazarian tries to... I'm sorry, that's right, it's 81. Chris Zabrowski went up, but couldn't complete the pass. So it's comes back to the Acton 36-yard line, 38-yard line. 3rd and 8. 3rd and a long 8. John Bassett over center, goes back to pass again. He's open, throws it. Throws it over the hands of Josh Nazarian. Incomplete. Ball comes back. It's now 4th down and 8.
They're going for it.
Tough one.
That was a big play.
Yeah, it was a big play.
37-yard line.
Looks like there'll be a timeout. We'll take back for a very critical 4th down. Looks like Acton's going to go for it. It's 4th and 8. and it's a critical 4th down here in the 4th period. John Bassett goes back. Josh Nazarian caught that ball. And
that's going to be real close.
Yeah, well, I think he's got it. He's down to probably the 48-yard line, 49-yard line. Yep, 1st and 10. Okay. How to make a guy nervous. Josh must have known exactly where he was. Okay, Sam Martin comes out over the ball. The Colonials have life now. There's 7:29 to go in the period. John Bassett takes the ball, pitches back to Chris Mahaney, who gets back to the line of scrimmage, picks up about 3 or 4 yards. Looks like he's got the ball down to about the 48-yard line into Buccaneer territory. 49-yard is where it's spotted. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Colonials. This is a hot drive, important drive for the Colonials to get back in this game. Sam Martin out over the ball. John Bassett puts his hands under the center, starts calling the signals. He's got it back to Chris Mahaney, who goes wide to the right, drives into the defensive end and knocks him down as he works his way out of oh, that was Colin Ross who's playing defensive end. Okay. Oh, he came up? Okay. Well, anyway, Chris got himself a couple yards, so he's now a 3rd and 6 for the Colonials. An important 3rd and 6. Just 5:42 left in the game, the 4th period here. John Bassett calls signals, takes the ball, gives it to Chris Mahaney. Chris fights his way all the way up. It's going to be a tight measurement here. He's very close. Colin Ross made the tackle, huh? Gee, he's playing a great game for Bedford. Referees call timeout, official timeout. We'll take. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a crucial play. This is 1st and 10. The Colonials have a drive going. There's just 6:36 left in the game. John Bassett calling the signals. Takes the center, gives it to Chris Mahaney, who drives his way through the right-hand side of the Bedford line, takes several Buccaneers with him. Tioni Monti was the boy who made that stop for the Buccaneers. It's 2nd and 4 for the Colonials. They're doing a nice ball control drive here and doing it well. John takes the hike from center, hands it to his right flex back. I don't know who that was. It was Josh Nazarian. Josh gets himself maybe a yard or two. So we'll have 3rd and a long 3 for a 1st. Okay, Sam Martin over the ball. John Bassett hands to Chris Mahaney, who goes down to maybe get probably 2 yards, maybe 3 yards on the play. It's down to the 33-yard line, so it'll be 4th and 2 for the Colonials. A really important 4th and 2. Here we are. Sam Martin over the ball. Buccaneers line up, put a bunch of guys down line and right behind them. There goes Chris Mahaney. He bangs it right over. He's got a 1st down. Man, that was a guts play. Yeah. Okay, Colonials will take it now at just shy of the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, with 4:59 left in the 4th period. And they're behind now, 15-7. They're driving deep into Buccaneer territory. Ball is snapped, handed to left flex back Josh Nazarian, who's caught right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, huh? He's caught by Chris Midget of the Buccaneers. So it'll be 2nd and 10. All right, John Bassett now calling the signals. Takes a long count. Chris Mahaney is caught first deep in his backfield and then at the line of scrimmage by Chris Harris, I'm sorry, of the Buccaneers. Marcus Harris. Gosh. Mike, help me. Marcus Harris of the Buccaneers. So it's back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. With 3:42 left in the game, John Bassett calling the signals. It's a long count. Goes wide. He's throwing a pass. It's intercepted by Colin Ross. Back on the Buccaneer 5-yard line. He runs it back to the 10. And he's out of bounds.
Bedford intercepted the ball. Colin Ross, number 23, made the interception. 1st and 10 Buccaneers.
Well, the Colonials are in deep soup now, as they say. With just 3:25 left, Buccaneers have the ball back on their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10. And time is running out now. Colonials are going to have to stop them here if they're going to have any chance of getting back into this game.
They've gone to a 55 defense here.
5-5 defense.
Just to stop the run.
Okay. Yep. Colin Ross came, got another 5 yards. Huh? Chris Price did. Made the stop for the Colonials. 2nd and 5 for the Buccaneers on their own 20.
Ball is spotted on the 20-yard line.
Colonials do a 5-5-1 defense. Once again, with misdirection, the Buccaneers make a 1st down. Jerry Saccone, their quarterback. 1st down, 10 to go on their own 27-yard line. Just 2:42 left in the game now. Colonials shift their defense. Buccaneers hand to Tioni Monti. Yes, he's a fine, tough football player. We've heard his number come up on both sides of the ball. He gets himself about 3 or 4 yards on that play. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Buccaneers on the Bedford 32. Clock's running. It's just a minute 59 seconds left. 2 minutes. Quarterback hands to Colin Ross. He breaks loose into the secondary. He's gone through 3 tacklers. And he finally gets nailed by Trey Gullich down at the Colonial 15-yard line.
Ball is started at the Colonial 16-yard line.
That was a fine run by Colin Ross. There were several missed tackles. It was unfortunate, but the timeout, we'll take a break. We're back now. There's just a minute and 43 seconds left. The Buccaneers have the ball. They're driving deep in Colonial territory. They're on the 16-yard line. The snap is made, and quarterback sneaks for another 3 or 4 yards.
Quarterback Terry Saccone.
Bedford quarterback Terry Saccone put his head down and got himself probably 3 yards.
2nd and 7.
So the Buccaneers now have 2nd and 7 on the Colonial 14-yard line. Buccaneers call signals. Ball snapped. Monty comes wide, but okay. Sam Martin comes over to make that hit, and he's Adam Kenny as well, and that stop for the Colonials. Colonials call timeout. Fans, we're back now with just 57 seconds left in the game. The Buccaneers are down on the Colonial 17-yard line, or I'm sorry, the 12-yard line, and driving. Ball is back to Colin Ross. He goes right in for a touchdown. Right, doesn't even touched. So the Buccaneers add another 6 points to their total. It's 21-7, and they're going to line up now for the extra point. It was quite a hole, Mike. There wasn't anybody close to him. Yeah. Well, Colin Ross will also line up to kick the extra point. Colonials come running, but the extra point, is no good. It's no good. Wide to the right. So the score stays 21-7, and there will be another kickoff. We'll be right back. Bedford is now kicking off to the Colonials. That's a nice long kick down to Colonial 10-yard line, picked up by Jay Close, who comes wide. There is a penalty flag, but Jay is running, and he's just knocked out of bounds on the 40-yard line.
That looks like it's in the air.
Yeah, it might be clipping or holding back there. Who knows? Back in the
blocking fraction.
Let's see how it goes here. The officials are going back to their flags, and
Blocks below the knees.
Oh, blocks below the knees. That's one I'm not familiar with, Mike.
You can't. You have to block above the waist on kickoff or on punt or when you're downfield.
Okay, good point. So the Colonials will go back to their own 15-yard line, 17-yard line, I guess.
Ball was spotted on the Colonial 12-yard line.
12-yard line. Wow, back to the 12. Okay, 1st and 10 for the Colonials. There's just 44 seconds left in the game. Sam Martin comes out over the ball. John Bassett calling the signals. He's back to pass. Running to his right. Throws to Josh Nazarian, who dropped the ball, huh? Jason Leone was, Jason Leone. And Jason's unable to hold on to that ball. So they'll bring it back to the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 10. I understand that. Okay. Ball was hiked, but the referee blew his whistle. We don't know what the signal is here.
I think Bedford might have had too many people on the field.
Oh, no. Okay.
That's what they called it. Timeout.
Bedford. All right. Okay, we're back live now. Acton has the ball. That's Jason Leone throwing a pass to Chris Zambrowski. And it's a 1st down for the Colonials on the 25-yard line. We're just 25 seconds left now. Jason Leone goes back again to throw. Oh, I'm sorry, that is Brian Bassett back. I'm sorry. John Bassett, thank you. Brian's playing in college at this moment. Okay. John is pushed off the field at about 30-yard line. We're waiting for the referee to spot.
It's a personal foul against Bedford.
It's a personal foul against Bedford for a late hit, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Colonials have it 1st and 10 on the 48-yard line. Okay, Bassett goes back again to pass. Sprints right. He's way over the line of scrimmage, I think, isn't he? Okay. Pass is incomplete. Ball goes back to the Colonial 48. It'll be 2nd and 10. You know, Mike, what hurts about this game is the Colonials clearly aren't playing up to their potential. They're certainly not an 0-3 or an 0-3-1 team at all.
That's for sure. We had a great week in practice this week too.
Really?
Everyone was working hard.
Boy. Ooh. Okay, that pass was incomplete. It was intended for Trey Gullich. It was knocked down on the Buccaneer 20. So it'll go back.
It was a roughing the passer call.
Roughing the passer.
And Bassett was on the ground when I looked back.
Okay. Well, there's a timeout. We'll take a break. Okay, the last play of the game with just 2 seconds. John Bassett goes back and throws a nice long pass right down to the goal line, but it falls incomplete on the goal line. And Bedford gets a well-earned victory, 21-7 over the Colonials. Certainly the Colonials did some good things tonight. They got some nice long drives. They controlled the ball, especially in that first half. But when it came down to putting points on the board, they were a little shy. Yeah. A little shy tonight.
They kind of let down a little in the second half.
It just seemed like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens, but it won't happen next week because you'll be playing, right?
I hope not.
Okay, well, we wish you well. We wish the boys well, and look forward to seeing us. This is a big game. Lincoln-Sudbury is always a rivalry we want to look great for. Hopefully, we'll be up for that game.
We will be.
All right, thanks for your help, Mike.
Okay.
And thanks to Dick Hayes, and that's it for this week. Thank you for listening.